Hello, and welcome to the Sacred Priestess podcast, where I help beautiful awakening women activate their sacred feminine power so that they can find clarity, connection, and confidence in their spiritual healing journey. I'm Hayley, and it is fantastic to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me, whatever you are up to today, wherever you are in the world, as we talk about womb wisdom rising. We are talking about why so many women at the moment are being called back to self, are being called into this beautiful divine feminine space. So the divine feminine is rising on this planet. And if you have been listening to me for a little while, if you're part of my world on socials or in my emails, then you know that, I've been talking about this, that the divine feminine is rising at the moment, that the ancient sacred feminine wisdom is being reactivated. It's returning to the planet through the ley lines, through the remembrance of ancient Mu, ancient Lemuria, ancient Atlantis, these beautiful ancient civilizations. It is being returned to us through the ley lines of the dragon mothers, through the Christ Sophia energy. And so it's really being activated within women at the moment, especially women who are here to hold this frequency of remembrance, who are part of the Magdalene lineage, who are part of the Hathor Isis lineage. So these women, so many women are feeling it right now. And if you are here, I'm sure you're one of them. If you are into sacred feminine teachings, if you are into looking into womb wisdom, and you are attracted to Mary Magdalene and Isis and all of those things, I'm sure it's something that you're really, really feeling. And, it's bringing us this need to slow down. It is bringing us a desire to just take a breath, to stop abandoning ourselves, to really stop abandoning the divine feminine, to stop denying our emotions, what we want from life, to just stand up and go, you know what? Enough is enough. The world is breaking, and we all know it's breaking for a reason, but it's time for the divine feminine to step in and hold that container for creation of the new. So as everything's breaking down, as we stand together with this feminine wisdom and we start activating this within us, we are really creating that lattice work of energy that holds space for new creation on the planet, for new ways forward. Because at the end of the day, goddess energy is creator energy. We've been brought up to believe that God is the creator, but as above, so below. Who are the creators on earth? Who are the birthers? Who are the creators of life? It's women. It's feminine energy. The goddess is the creator. And I'm not saying that the masculine isn't important. As we return to this, we return to the understanding of the balance and synergy of divine masculine and divine feminine. And that's what we're bringing forward. But we need to remember and realize that it is the sacred energy of the feminine that will create, that will hold that container of creation. So that's something that's coming forward quite strongly right now in this moment. I always connect to the goddesses before I start, so that if there's anything that they want to bring through that I haven't written down in my notes, so that's something that they're really showing me strongly right now. So what do I mean by womb wisdom? And what do we mean by, activating the womb and bringing all of this energy? And, womb wisdom is a really ancient way of being. It's ancient knowledge, it's ancient knowing, it's understanding what this sacred space brings to us as women. It's about acknowledging and bringing forward feminine power and feminine strength, feminine discernment. And, it's just basically connecting into the womb space, and womb wisdom is a state of beingness. It's what we should be following within our lives. It's that connection to womb, connection to heart, connection to higher self that puts us in a state of being that leads us forward on our highest path, our highest potential. It leads us forward in expansion, in growth, in manifestation. And like I said, in just bringing all of that newness forward, and especially in bigger terms of the awakening, obviously we're doing it on a personal level. Everything starts within first with our personal journey, and that reflects what's happening on the outside and how we, that sort of, uh, the word symbiotic keeps coming up today, but this relationship between our inner world and the outer world that we see in front of us, right? So everything, our perceived reality, is what comes through from our inner state of being. And so the more we're within this womb wisdom and following these, what we're going to talk about today, the more we move through that in our reality in the 3D, the more we, see that happening for us on the outside, not just personally, but that starts to shape the greater world on a human, humanity and humanity's consciousness kind of a level. So it's that state of beingness. And our womb wisdom connects us to our power of creation. It connects us to our intuition and connection to spirit, to our emotional truth, to our sensuality, to safety, to purpose, fulfillment, receivership. And it's really bringing us back to the cycles and the timing of earth and our connection with the earth, our connection with the stars. We are that conduit. And again, if you've followed me for a while, you know that I'm just so passionate about the fact that we are that divine conduit from the beautiful cycles of the cosmos and the energy of the cosmos, bringing that down and through us into the energy of the earth and following with the cyclical energy of the earth. So many women are feeling this right now, whether they know it, this is what it is or not. So, you are in the beautiful, and I want to say lucky, although I don't really like that word because it's not luck that you're here. You've done what you need to do in order to bring you here. That's not luck. That's you following your gut, following your intuition, following what feels right to you. But so many women are feeling this and they don't understand what it is. And because you understand what it is, and you know that it's because of what's happening within this collective consciousness and the rising of the divine feminine, that you can listen to it, you can hear it, you can speak to it, you can move forward in ways that are going to bring you closer, more deeply connected into into this wisdom and into this knowing and into this knowledge. So our womb wisdom is all about, and what so many women are feeling right now is all of these suppressed emotions, our fear, our collective anger, collective frustration, grief, violation as women are all coming to the surface. And I've mentioned this a few times in the last little while, we can see that in what's being reflected in more of a, like, I'll talk about personal in humanity. In humanity, we're seeing that. We're seeing the things that are coming to light and to the surface with women and the violation of women, the suppression of women. And so all of that, because we're starting to heal and shift all of that within our own wombs, we're remembering this beautiful Sophianic energy, our connection to Venus, our connection to these sacred rose geometries. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go back to other episodes. But, as we're remembering this, it's bringing all of this to the surface for us personally and collectively. And we're seeing that. So, this is from years and years and lifetimes of us overgiving, of pushing through exhaustion, of overscheduling ourselves and being all the things to all the people, living in masculine cycles, right? The 9 to 5 is not for 90% of women. There are some women who are here to do that and be that, and it's awesome. And, I'm not saying that that's wrong for women to be like that at all. But there are a lot of us who are who have been plugged into that system and who are attached into that system that it's not meant for, right? Men live 9 to 5. Men have 24-hour cycles. Women do not. So we're sort of releasing and bringing all of that to the to the surface, sorry. So, we're releasing where we've silenced our needs and our wants and our desires. We're bringing to the surface all that people pleasing, the ignoring of our intuition and connection to spirit, the shaming of our bodies, the shaming of our menstruation, the shaming of, the phases of womanhood that we go through, from maiden to mother to queen to crone. These beautiful initiations that were spiritual initiations have been completely taken over and completely suppressed, and we no longer honor those cycles that we go through. And so all of that starting to come to the surface too, and that feminine power is really, really rising. So as we awaken, like I said earlier, the dragon mother energy is rising, the Sophianic energy is rising, Christ Sophia, that God goddess, the goddess half of God is rising, the feminine part of God is rising. And we're really stepping into, like I said, that ancient remembrance of Lemuria, these ancient civilizations where we were very, very matriarchal, where all of what we revolved around was ritual, ceremony, surrender, flow, connection to the earth, connection to the stars, connection to multidimensional beings. And so all of this is coming to the surface. So yeah, like I said, we are healing both personally and collectively. And most of the things that we are healing is shame, grief, violation, sensuality, desire. Again, healing things around menstruation and our cycles, the shame around that, for want of a better word, ignorance around it, for the fact that, when it comes to menstruation, I mean, how many women have you heard say, next time I'm coming back as a man so I don't have to have a period? Like, we've completely lost the connection to the amazing creation that we hold because it's not valued. The fact that we create life, and I don't mean to be triggering anyone on this because I know that, we're all on our own journeys. And, this hasn't been possible for, many women, but it's because of this shaming and because of these things that women are finding it difficult, that women do have issues with fertility, that women do have issues with menstruation. It's from this ancestral patterning, these past life problems, this suppression of this space that this is happening, right? And so we're dealing with all of that. Like I said, the aging is these cycles of womanhood is something that we're healing collectively. We're healing grief, loss, and heartbreak around dreams that have not been realized. Things that we were meant to birth in this world that we haven't done because of the wounding in this space. Manifestations that haven't happened because of the stuff that's going on within this space. We were healing a lot of anger, betrayal from suppression of our voices, from suppression of our ideas. I was watching, I totally binged over the weekend. I binged Lessons in Chemistry, and I loved the book. And it's taken me a really long time to watch this series, but again, like, it just brings up so much, again, that anger and that annoyance of the suppression of women, and how clever she was, and how clever so many women, are and have been, and how, the patriarchy just found it so threatening, right? And so all of this is what we're sort of collectively bringing forward. Again, we're healing things around our ideas coming forward and being equal, fear about being seen in our power, because women are so powerful when they stand up, right? And it's not only becomes scary to men, and I'm not saying that men are the root of all evil or anything like that, but not used to it, but we're not used to it either. We're not used to being on our power. We're not used to seeing women in our power. We are all programmed within the same matrix on both sides. And so we're also fearful of what that feels like and looks like when women stand in their power as well. So that's something else that we're healing. We're healing witch wounding, persecutions, judgment of our gifts, our spiritual gifts, our healing gifts, our, connection to spirit, our psychic gifts. Also the sisterhood wound. We're also healing vows of silence that we took around this stuff, right? A lot of us back when, when we're talking sort of like Isis, Mary Magdalene, these lifetimes that we've spent in these spaces, we took vows of silence that we would keep it secret, because if it was talked about, even 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 years ago, when this was already being suppressed, we took these vows to say that we would keep it secret, that we would keep it underground, that we wouldn't share it because we would be persecuted for it. And so these vows are having to come to light, and these vows of silence are having to be broken. So there's a lot that we are healing within the womb. There's a lot that needs to be healed within the womb. And it's no wonder that the womb space, that as women, we have so many illnesses and dis-ease within this space. And this is something that we're really starting to clear and move forward with. So signs that your womb wisdom is awakening. If you are feeling really disconnected from self, disconnected from spirit, disconnected from your intuition, from the earth, from, what it is to be a human, a spiritual human being, if you're feeling really unfulfilled, and you're feeling like you're missing that there's just something not quite, you're not being lit up inside unless you're, shopping or eating chocolate, then, these are signs that, something's starting to shift within you. If you're noticing that, if you're self-aware around that, if you're finding that you're having difficulty receiving, and you're starting to notice that you're not allowing things in, you're not allowing things to breathe, and you're not allowing space for receivership, both from spirit, from what's coming up within you. You're realizing that you've got that mentality of, you're becoming very self-aware around the mentality of, I can do it myself. Like, I don't need anybody's help. I don't need that. So if that's starting to become something that you're noticing within yourself, if you're feeling the need to really slow down, if you're feeling that the 9 to 5 thing is just grating on you, and you're like, this is not what my life is supposed to be like. If you're feeling a lot of creative energy stirring within you, you're getting lots of new ideas, and you're stepping into like possibility and expansion, and you're starting to notice that you're going, well, what if I did this? Or, oh God, wouldn't it be great if I could do that? Or if I've been wanting to do this, create this in some way, I wonder how I could do that. That's that womb wisdom starting to move. If you are wondering, what is the actual point? Like, why are we doing this? What is the point? Like, what is the point of me getting up and doing this and then doing that and then going to bed? So any of this self-awareness that's coming forward, if you're noticing that your self-worth is really low, your self-love, your compassion for self, compassion towards your healing, that you're getting really down on yourself, and you're starting to notice that, and you're feeling the need to give yourself more love and compassion in this space. If you're craving softness, if you're craving ritual, you're craving connection to yourself, to spirit, to other women, and you're craving more connection within your relationships, You're really being drawn to goddess energy, to Mary Magdalene, to Hathor, to Isis, to, all of these beautiful things, to dragon energy. Maybe you're noticing that. Maybe you're starting to notice a really deep need to connect with nature, fairies, the telluric realm, the elements, the stars. So if all of this is stirring for you, this is a real sign that you are really opening up to this womb wisdom, and it's time to really intentionally work with this space, right? So when you begin working with this space and you begin opening up and clearing out this space, opening up that womb wisdom, your intuition gets stronger. Your confidence in your ability to make decisions, your discernment, you're not constantly asking other people for their advice. It's great to get other people's advice and you can take that and you can take it on board, but you become so much stronger and confident in the fact that you know who you are, you know what you want, and you know what you're doing, and you trust your intuition to lead you there. You are much more comfortable with emotional release. You're much more comfortable to sit in the discomfort of healing and release, and you honor yourself in that. You trust the process of release. You understand the alchemy that happens when you allow yourself to feel what is coming up and feel what is no longer needed within you in order to alchemize it and transmute it, to let it go. So when we're working with our womb, we also become more sensual. We become more alive in that. Our libido gets better. In a lot of women, their cycle gets better, less pain, less annoyance, less frustration, because we connect to that. We honor it. We honor what is moving within our body. And menstruation is a release of trauma. Every time you're releasing out of your womb, you are releasing ancestral trauma, you're releasing your own traumas as all of that flows. You have more magnetism, you have more creative energy. You have the ability to manifest quicker and easier, but also create things, as in, maybe you want to do your garden again and create a new beautiful garden. Maybe you're in a space where you want to do course creation, or you want to create a workshop for somebody, or for your audience. Maybe you are into just creating things like macrame. I don't know how to say it. There's a couple of ways to say it, but you know what I mean? Like when you're creating with your hands. So yeah, you honor your body, your emotions, honor your healing, trust spirit, trust yourself, trust your path, and trust your highest timeline is unfolding in front of you. You trust that path of the rose, that unfolding. So if you have a minute, if you're just listening to this while you're doing something else, if you're driving, no, you can save it for later if you've got other things on, but take a moment at some point today, whether it's right now with me or later on, to place your hands in your heart and your womb. Take beautiful, big, deep breaths and really come into your body, into the present, and call forward your higher self. We always go outside of self and we want to bring our guides in. No, let's bring our higher self forward. The part of you that knows all, that has the deepest knowing. It's calling forward that higher self, and let's activate those beautiful rose geometries within the heart and within the womb. And if you don't see, you don't feel, you don't hear, you're not confident within your intuition, just really become present to your body, come present to your emotions, to the tingles within your body. And just connect down into your womb space, connect to this area. And so many women, and they always say, I hope this isn't a stupid question. And it's not a stupid question. If you do not have a physical womb, you still have an energetic womb space. So connect down into this energetic space. And ask your womb, what do you need from me in this moment? What do I need to do, release, or understand to gain greater connection, to step into womb wisdom, to step into deeper sacred feminine power within me? And you can ask, how can I unlock more of my sacred feminine wisdom? How can I begin to step into this womb wisdom as my state of being? And you can also use this with cards if you like. You can use these questions with your oracle cards. But do take some time to sit and just be with this space. Not reaching out to guides and angels, but being present with your own body, with your own womb, with your own emotions, with your own energetic field. This is where we need to start if we want to be opening up to that intuition, into that space. With you, you need to start with you and your own energy, your own field. Beautiful. So, yeah, your womb is crying out for you. She's crying out for you to listen. She's crying out for you to work with her, to be present with her, to acknowledge and understand her. She's such a deep connection to your soul, to your higher self. So step into ritual with your womb. Step into ritual with the goddesses, with your higher self, and with this beautiful energy. It's been so wonderful to have you here today. Thank you so much for listening. If you would like to step into deeper ritual with the goddesses, to deeper connection with your own sacred feminine power, then I invite you to join me. I will put the links to my Instagram below, my private Facebook group, where we do some different teachings and intuitive exercises in there. Also, I will pop my free ritual handbook. I'll put the link to that down there, and to my website. Go and visit hayleyhughes.com.au and check out what is going on in all these places, so that you can activate your own sacred feminine power and find beautiful clarity and connection and confidence as you walk this journey and as your womb wisdom is activated. So thanks again. I will see you next week. Bye.